shitty wizard appears while you're going about your day. He asks you some questions and won't let you run away. Would you rather have a finger growing out of your cheek or have no skin on the bottom of your feet? Would you rather have laser vision or turn invisible? Now make a decision. Shitty wizard flying through the air. Shitty wizard magic everywhere. Shitty wizard you just can't compare. Shitty wizard learning to care.
Hey, welcome back to Shitty Wizard. Welcome back to Streamy Dreams with the Shitty Wizards. I'm here. Don't talk over me.
It's been like a small break, and we're already fucking falling apart. Goddamn amateurs.
You paused just enough for me to be like,
Keep your mouth shut. God damn it. Okay, anyway, let's start from the beginning.
Thank God we're not live.
Welcome back to Streamy Dreams with the Shitty Wizard. Laurel, I swear to God. You're going to feel the back of my hand in a second. I'm your shitty host, Caitlin, and I'm joined by the ever shitty Adam.
What up?
And Laurel.
I think we can agree that I'm the shittiest wizard.
Yeah. You're definitely the shittiest, live podcaster.
Fair enough.
So we're well rested after a nice long break in the new year, new me, 2019.
Giving our curse fingers a break.
Yeah.
Curse fingers.
We got some resolutions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
some new resolutions.
So I guess
Murder more.
First question, so for Laurel, do you actually do resolutions? Is that a thing? Because I know that's not always, as we recently just learned from Brett, that he doesn't do them. Do you do them?
I never do them. I never actually plan to do them, but I like thinking about it. I like going through, I like the fantasy of it, and then I'm just like, anyway, back to my normal day.
It seems like people go really hard on them. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know anyone who does.
No, me neither, but you see it on, if you see it on the internet, we all know the internet's bullshit, but
right.
As people who make bullshit for the internet, you can never really trust it, but you see people go, I wrote this down and I want to do that. They set really, really hard
they made
goals.
a plan. They made a spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I've never known anybody like that. I do like the idea of having kind of soft goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the year.
If anything, I know a lot more people who do stuff like that more in the spring. They're like, summer I'm going to get healthy, or it's because that's more like the end of the college school year, beginning of that seems like more of a reset. So people go I'm going to start drinking more water. I got a water app. Whereas New Year's resolutions, all I know is that don't go to the gym in January.
Yeah, so I've heard. I tend to not set hard goals for myself. Like I said, I like the soft ones. An example being for 2019, I want to do more things just because I want to do them. Because normally I have to justify shit to myself. As in, I'm going to do this because it will get me here. Or, I'm going to do this because it'll make me better at this.
Yeah. But you actually think about that in January? You're like, okay, this is it.
No, but that's what I mean. I'm not... So yeah, basically, as we were getting close to New Year, I was just thinking about it. What do I want to do in 2019? And I just want to pursue joy more for the sake of joy, as opposed to it'll make me in better shape, or it'll, I'll get better at drawing or whatever. I'm just going to do shit because I want to do shit.
Yeah, January's the check-in month. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily, making a plan to have a New Year's resolution, but it's oh yeah, I guess it has been another year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I think it's important to examine your life at some point to make sure that you're not going off the rails.
I guess I do murder too many babies.
Yeah. What about you, Kayla?
Oh yeah, I have so many resolutions in the new year, and all of them fail on January 1st. And so that kind of gets me off the hook for the rest of the year. And I'm like, well, I've already failed, so I can't go any lower.
It's just like January 1st, it's a close-up on your face, and I'm going to drink less, and then it slowly pans out, and you've just got a giant cocktail. Shit!
And a martini in the other hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are yours that you feel comfortable sharing?
Well, I've got to lose weight because I'm going back to Australia in April, and God forbid if I don't look like I did when I was 18, I'm gonna cop so much shit from everyone.
Are your parents like that? Or...
Oh my God, like extreme, yeah. Like
you're not clipping your cuticles right.
Yeah, so one time when I was a teenager, I went and lived in Japan for like a few months, and I put on weight while I was there because my host mother would like feed me regularly, whereas when I was living at home, I like was basically malnourished.
Japanese food is fucking fantastic,
and also it's fucking delicious.
Also,
and so like as soon as I got back to Australia, my mom was like, "Oh, you put on weight. Your knees look fat," and I'm like,
"Not your knees."
How does somebody's knees look bad?
Oh, I've seen some fat knees. But usually losing or gaining weight, it won't save you.
Yeah, so New Year's resolution number 1 is starve myself.
Cool.
I know, it's not about being healthy, okay? It's all about losing weight.
It's all about showing your parents.
Yeah, and then when I get back, I can just continue to be a normal...
Then it's just a ramen party.
Yeah,
I feel like, if I may offer some friendly criticism, I feel like your New Year's resolution should actually be to tell your family to eat your whole ass. As opposed to bending to their judgment. Also, usually family members that are super judgy about stuff like that are in no place to be judging you.
Yeah,
so the other, again... Just
yeah, my mom's like, your knees are fat, and I'm like, yeah, well, you got fucking liver spots, old bitch.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Whoa!
Here at Shitty Wizard, we like to embrace our...
Dear God! It's the
beauty.
first one of the year, and we're already fucking...
I'm sorry. That was 0 to 100.
But also, good first step on the friendly criticism that I gave. You just take that energy to Australia.
Yeah.
Or just gently hand them this recording.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys had any New Year's resolution themed Would You Rathers. I know that we had like talked vaguely about it yesterday.
I got one.
Oh, you did it?
I don't.
Okay, me neither. Because also one of my resolutions is to work less. So I put way less work into preparing for this episode than I usually do.
Hooray! New year, new Caitlin.
New year, new Caitlin. Everything's going downhill real quick.
Everything's less.
I feel like I experienced some actual proof of you kind of giving up on some of your resolutions already. Because we were having lunch one day and you said, one of my resolutions is to work less this year outside of your job. And then there was just this pause. And I remember looking at you and going, you already have an idea for another book, don't you? And you just went, yeah.
Yeah. We all knew that I was lying to myself.
Yeah. I know a workaholic when I see one. I know what my own kind look like.
There's some habits that are just, even the ones that would be so delicious to break, and yet you just can't quite get there.
Yeah.
It's like, I could go home at 6 today. I could. But I won't.
No.
Because it's just built into you now.
Yeah. Anyway, if anybody in the chat has any New Year's resolution themed Would You Rathers, please shoot them our way. We would like to know what your resolutions are.
Or if anyone wanted to just like share a funny resolution, we'll shout you out. Caitlin will. She's got the phone.
I've got the chat. I'm taking care of you. Don't worry. You're cradled lovingly in my hands.
That's not a joke. She's literally cradling the phone like a baby.
Anyway, who wants to start? Laurel, since you have a resolution.
Mine is on theme. Well, mine's like New Year's themed, not necessarily resolution.
Oh, you fucking liar.
Well, it's one of the half of them is okay. This is one of those like baked potatoes that you cooked in the microwave where the outside's real nice, but there's that one hard lump in there. As we all know, the microwave sweet potato.
Yeah. Can we just please frame everything in like, this is how it relates to a potato? Because otherwise I don't understand anything anyone's saying.
Caitlin, I've got you. I can do that for you. Okay, so would you rather... Let's see if I can remember. Would you rather... Okay, so every year, the government instills this, like, you have to do a resolution. You are forced into it by magic. It'll be compelled upon you. But you don't get to pick what it is. One of your peers will be selected at random to pick your resolution. Mm-hmm. So maybe it'll be Adam, and it'll be something like, confront your mother. Or maybe it'll be me, and it's like, you're not allowed to spit for a year, and you are locked into that resolution for a year, no matter what.
Is it a positive change though?
It can be. It's completely to that person's discretion.
Oh, so it doesn't. It could be.
So think about your peers.
Why would you do that to me though?
Because it'd be fun.
But then what if you got me? And then I was like, oh, last year Laurel made me not spit for a year, so this year she's not allowed to pee.
It's a risk I'm well, there's some you can't pick something that they just would you can say that I can't go to the bathroom and then I just pee my pants for a year.
I would totally do that to you.
Hey, but it can roll back around. I'm gonna be like, you can only eat marshmallows for a year.
You would die.
Yeah, you would straight up die.
Yeah, you would die. Yeah, it can't be something that big. It has to be like really specific.
Right.
Okay.
Like you can't dye your hair at all this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
And then the whole facade is broken.
And you can't do something like become president. Like you can't pick something that they just couldn't do.
Right.
Or these two don't go well together, but fuck it. Or would you rather for January, so January 1st, there's the New Year's party, wherever you are, that party happened in your apartment, and there was a huge explosion of confetti, and you have to pick up each piece of that confetti with your hands until that apartment is clean and confetti free, and you have to do it dressed as a New Year's baby.
A New Year's baby? What's that?
You just wear an adult diaper and a bonnet.
You have to. Okay, so you have to do it while the party is still happening.
No, the party's over. So like once the
the
party's
next
over,
day.
so the next day. January 1st is when
So-
the confetti happened, and then until you have that apartment cleaned, you're
Okay,
picking it up with your hands and you're dressed like a baby.
so I don't mean to be overly critical, but you're basically saying, would you rather have somebody have unfettered power over you for a designated amount of time, or clean up your apartment after a party while half naked,
No.
which is what I do after a party
Yeah,
anyway.
that's pretty much my January 1st
Listen.
anyway.
This is an entire. I'm gonna say studio. I'm gonna say it's like the studio instead of your apartment because I don't know what your apartments are like.
Fine.
But this is like tiny bits of confetti. It's basically glitter that you have to pick up by hand. This isn't like an afternoon of cleaning your apartment. This is gonna take a couple days.
A
Fine.
couple days versus an entire year of
Yeah,
like,
but they might give you
relinquishing
something good. They might give you a good
No,
resolution.
no, you have too much faith in humanity. No, absolutely not.
What resolution would you give to Caitlin? Forget humanity. This is you. Think of your peers. Do you think your average friend? Because it could be your lady. It could be your parents, and then they might
I
give you a
always
good
thought
one.
peers were like your co-workers.
No, it's like your relations.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
So
coworkers,
people in your
friends,
life.
family.
Oh, no way. There's no way I'm giving anyone in my life that much control over me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't trust any of you.
Give you a good one.
But also you have to keep in mind, just because they're in your life doesn't mean that your wants and needs necessarily align. An example being, if it was Caitlin's mother, she would be like, your resolution is to have less fat knees, whatever the fuck that means. Right? That doesn't mean anything.
She would totally do that.
Yeah.
Cut down that knee weight, girl.
But she can't do that one because it doesn't make any sense. She has to do one that's like, it has to be like a real resolution that someone would actually pick in the real world.
Right, so not being able to spit is kind of off the table now.
That's right on the line. That one's kind of on the verge.
Nobody in the entire history of the universe has made a New Year's resolution.
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
spit less in
this
public.
year."
Has to be in that ballpark.
Right. So it's always going to be this, like, lose weight. That's, like, everyone's resolution.
Yeah, but they don't have to pick that one. It might be, though, and then you'd be forced to do it in, like, a weird way where they're, like, watching you.
God, they're, like, calorie counting for you.
Yeah.
Like my mom.
But no, it might also be something cool where it's, like, a weird experiment where you learn something new about yourself. Like, this is what my life would be like if I gave up alcohol for a year. This is what my life would be like if I don't know, jogged every morning. This is what my life would be like if I gave up sarsaparilla.
Laurel, you've been drinking too much sarsaparilla lately.
Also, Laurel's just looking around the room for something to...
This is what or it could be something like learn to knit. They might give you something where it's like, you have to learn to knit stuff.
I'm worried about your sarsaparilla habit.
You should be. It's getting bad.
You should
It's
be.
getting bad.
Mm.
Look, I made this would you rather this morning. I didn't think it through. I'm trying to fix it.
I just no, it's a good one. It's a good one. And if I like had any faith in the people in my life, I would totally pick that one. But like, I also know that I've surrounded myself by a pack of assholes.
A little bit.
Hurtful. Hurtful.
I thought I would give you a good one.
Well, I was about to say earlier when you said, what would you give Caitlin as a New Year's resolution? Be like, I would say her New Year's resolution should be less hard on herself.
Yes.
She's a little mean to herself sometimes.
And then you'd be
I don't
forced
like
to
that.
do it.
But it's like it's my entire personality is being mean to myself.
You gotta mix it up, Caitlin.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, be mean to somebody else.
I mean, I can do that.
I think she's got that one.
What have I done? Well, yeah, I don't know. My main concern is that sometimes what people think is best for you is not actually what's best for you. So I'm concerned. It's not that I don't necessarily trust the people in my life.
Yeah.
But
it's only for a year. If it turns out it is something that's not good for you, then you would know that definitively after a year.
yeah. I guess that's so for instance, if it was like my wife or my friends that got it, I would not be worried about it, right? Because they would actually, they know who I am because we spend a lot of time together. I mean, especially my wife.
But a stranger might give you something where it's like
So
something
it could-
they thought of doing.
Yeah, but I was going to say an example being what a family member would want from me would align more with their values and who they are. And I don't spend a lot of time with my family, so they wouldn't really understand what I'm going for in life
But
necessarily.
then you get a new perspective on the world, being like, oh. But no.
But if like, okay, well, here's an example. If their resolution was to go back to my hometown for a year, I'd fucking blow my brains
That's
out.
not a resolution. That's not, like,
But it
resolutions
could
are trends.
But it could be something because some people.
They
will
could say visit home more often. But
Yeah.
they couldn't- your resolution can't be like move back home.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, some people's resolutions.
Really?
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
people.
I
I
guess
said
Move to
at
a
the
different city.
yeah. Some people. I said at the top of this. I said at the top of this episode. Some people's resolutions they go hard on that shit.
Yeah. It is a huge gamble. You're right. I didn't quite. Okay, wait. Can I change the second half?
You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Forget the confetti thing. You get to pick your resolution, but you have to add to it every week so it becomes cumulative.
Good lord.
And so by
Add to
December, there's a lot of things that you either have to do or can't do. But you get to pick them. So it's like, first week in January, you're like, okay, I'll... what's a common one? I'll give up soda. And then second week, it's like, okay, I'll visit home more often. But you still have to also not drink soda.
Right.
So it's like, every week you gotta think of something.
Man, I'm gonna run
pile
out of
on.
things to resolve.
Yeah, Christmas, no one's gonna be able to, like, actually have,
Also, that really feeds into my my obsession with to-do lists. Because you know what?
Wait, really? You
Yeah.
have a to-do list of stuff?
I have a to-do list for everything in my life.
To-do lists are very important when it comes to productivity.
Yeah.
I deny that. I deny and reject it.
So now it's either would you rather somebody else pick your New Year's resolution, or would you rather you pick
Basically
52 resolutions
Yeah.
in a year?
But you can sort of plan out that order strategically.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that one. I would rather have 50 resolutions that I know I can either succeed or fail at. What happens if I fail at my resolution?
You start the year over at the beginning.
Oh, jeez.
That-
Oh, no.
But you don't get
You get all the way to December and you forget about your January resolution to, not drink soda? Yeah.
You didn't even know there was soda in it. You were just like, you thought it was coffee, but it was just flat Coke.
Well, hold
no.
on. That could be really abusable. An example
You
being...
can't use it to predict the future. All you remember when you restart the year is how you fucked up.
Because I was going to say, you wait and find out lottery numbers
No,
and then break a
None
resolution.
of that shit. No, you
My
reset.
resolution is to win the lottery.
You reset with only the memory of how you fucked up.
Poor shit.
Yeah, I'm doing that one.
What a gamble.
I prefer a challenge to myself than losing control to somebody else.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
That's my whole jam.
I think I could think of 52 resolutions.
Yeah. Because they don't have to be, like, major ones.
No, it can be things like,
I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna floss.
I'm
every
gonna
day.
switch to an electric toothbrush.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink more sarsaparilla.
I'm gonna drink more soda. I'm gonna eat more pizza. I'm gonna gain weight. Get off my back, society.
Imagine if two of your resolutions conflict each other, though. You're like, I'm gonna lose weight, but I'm also gonna eat more pizza.
You gotta figure out a way to make that work.
Yeah, that's on you then. If you.
Yeah, that's bad planning.
Yeah.
So long as your current level of pizza consumption, like if you took out all other foods and only you ate the same amount of pizza you eat now, a little bit more, but then you just cut literally everything else, then you probably will lose weight.
You will be in bad
Yeah,
health.
and then I'm
You
gonna
will die.
And then I'm gonna write a book called The Pizza Diet. It's gonna be a bestseller.
Wasn't there some like celebrity who did like they only ate candy, but they lost weight because they only ate candy, and it turns out you get sick of candy really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was that McDonald's guy who like only ate McDonald's for however long.
I don't think he lost weight. I think
No,
he
he
like
did
had a
not.
heart attack and died.
No, he didn't
I don't think
die.
he died.
No, he didn't die, but he got sick.
He got really sick.
He got
Yeah.
sick, yeah.
Although McDonald's stepping it up lately. I see you, McDonald's, trying to get fancy.
Yeah, you can get a salad from McDonald's now. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get this ball rolling. What's
All
going
right.
on?
The next one.
Next one.
So I was trying to think of a New Year's resolution one, and I couldn't. So instead, I just focused on something that I've been thinking a lot of, which was the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. That movie's real good.
It's so beautiful.
I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot. Highly recommend it. And so I was thinking about that movie, and they make being Spider-Man look mad fun in that movie.
Yeah, they do.
And you watch Miles Morales go on this transformation, and it seems really exciting, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm just like, this kid's trying to go to school and shit,
Isn't it his first day at college or something?
Yeah,
How much school did he miss in that
a
movie?
lot. And then
Got
Probably nothing
expelled.
important. Let's face it. September in your first year of college, not that important.
No, because it wasn't college. It was like a fancy high school he was going to. So it's like if you miss a few days, you're getting suspended.
Nah, the first month is a total write-off.
yeah, but
Trust me, I've missed plenty.
yeah,
And look at me now.
Yeah, but you didn't go to a fancy high school. You went to
You don't know. You
a
don't know.
jet public school.
I went to a trade school.
wow, this escalated quickly.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, Jesus. It also got me thinking about the Spider-Man game that came out this year that basically starts off with Peter Parker stopping the Kingpin, or Spider-Man stopping the Kingpin and all that shit.
Whoa,
and then
whoa, spoilers.
it starts off with it. It's the first thing.
I don't give a shit.
You're never gonna play that game.
No, probably not.
Well, brace yourself because I'm going to spoil some other shit. At one point in the game early on, you get evicted because you're not making any money because you're Spider-Maning too much. So
yeah, that would happen.
So I'm just like, being a superhero might not be as much fun as these motherfuckers make it look like.
Who needs an apartment when you can sling webs into other people's windows and just
I'm sleeping here tonight.
sleep in their place? What are they gonna do? You just web them up and go like, I saved your town. I get to sleep here tonight. Fuck you.
So, and then also when you think about superheroes,
Spider-Man has a GoFundMe.
What?
please. Well, they even talk about in the game at one point. Somebody was apparently at some point. Somebody approached Spider-Man and was, we want to license your likeness for merch.
Right.
And he couldn't take it because he would need a bank account for the money to go into, which would get his secret identity out.
Right.
You gotta pay me in cash.
So,
Leave a bag of money under the doormat.
all this build-up has led me to my question because I was thinking about it. Also keeping in mind that a lot of the ways these guys get their powers are real dubious. Like, you got bit by a radioactive spider doesn't sound very good for you. So, would you rather have superpowers,
Yes.
but it comes with all that responsibility, as in you don't magically, because we're bad wizards, you don't have a choice. You have to fight crime. Crime is kind of going to escalate to meet your superpowered bullshit. So you're going to have guys making super suits and stuff. So you're going to be in physical danger. Your family, if your secret identity ever gets out, is going to be in physical danger. You're going to have all this responsibility hoisted on you, but you get all the dope-ass superpowers and glory that comes with it, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
Or you have superpowers without any of the any of the responsibility, but you have to deal with the side effects of however you got those powers, i.e., I don't think your lifespan is going to be very long if you get bombarded with gamma rays or whatever the shit.
But what if you're just like born with it, like an X-Men?
That's not an option.
Right.
You get them through some kind of dubious ways that will affect, like have side effects, like a drug, basically.
So like.
So shorter lifespan, maybe you're infertile, maybe you're an example.
Oh no!
No, I know, but
what a tragedy.
Like think of
there
are people that care about that, or like think of Daredevil, where he has all these dope powers, but he literally lost his eyesight because of it. That's kind of a good example. So he's lost this whole bit of his.
So you're handicapped in some other way.
Well, I don't even necessarily want to say handicapped, but. Yeah, like your lifespan is shortened, you're dealing with some kind of affliction that you wouldn't necessarily have to deal with. It's caused by the superpowers. Again, I'm thinking about it as...
Deadpool might be the best example of that.
Yeah.
It's like, awesome regenerative powers, also I'm a monster.
Yeah.
But, so then you can use those superpowers in any way you please, and there's no responsibility to be a good person.
Basically, yeah, you can literally use your, like, let's say...
Come on, yeah, you know it's gonna be that one.
me and Laurel are making eyes.
We're like, I can deal with a shorter lifespan, because I'm gonna make those years count, motherfucker! But I'm trying, for me it actually would depend, because there are some superpowers that I just don't give a shit about. Like, I wouldn't want. Like,
you also can't choose your superpower.
Yeah, so it's like random.
It's not random?
Yeah.
Another great example, I actually think, is the Hulk. So he's got all these superpowers, but when he hulks out, it literally involves him wigging out, and what if you hurt people you care about?
Yeah, and also, you're buying a new suit. Like,
or even like Cyclops, he's got those like laser eyes, but he can't control it.
He's got to wear sunglasses.
Yeah. So it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's even some cool superpowers that I would be like, this would be an awesome superpower to have. Like, this is where I get kind of caught on which one to pick. Because if I had a Daredevil, like, I'm just like an amazing fighter and I've got like heightened senses in other areas, that's only fun if you have villains to fight. If you're just an average Joe who's like, nobody knows that I can kick butt, but also I'm not going to.
Right. There's no reason for you to kick butt.
Like, there's no fun pranks you get to do if you're just like a really, really good fighter. It's like you either become a professional fighter or you fight evil, or you're just like, you get into bar scraps, I guess. Whereas there's other superpowers that's like being able to fly. It's like, that's got so many fun, or being able to turn invisible. You're like, that would be worth.
Even like the Spider-Man thing of like being able to climb up walls.
Yeah, sticky
That's
hands
really cool.
and feet. Like, that would be worth whatever side effects I get. But if I just become, Cyclops, it's like, I better have villains to fight, or this is just annoying and not helpful. I'll just cut my toast with my laser eyes and be like, my life's better.
Well,
but also I have cancer.
Well, especially considering with Cyclops, the only thing that helps him live is these fancy ruby glasses that were given to him by a rich psychic guy, so you don't necessarily have access to those glasses.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I'm not super
I thought they were
on
just like
the X-Men lore, but like, what did he do? Did he just walk around with his eyes closed all the time before that?
I think so.
They developed. So it was like, he always had that mutant gene, but it like, until puberty, it didn't.
And then, I think he just walked around with his eyes closed.
Yeah. Which is like, if your eyelids can stop the laser beams, you should be able to just get like rayons and be fine. I'm just saying. Or is it just like, maybe it's sunlight. If sunlight gets, maybe if he opens his eyes is that confirmed? If he opens his eyes in a room where there's like no light, maybe his laser eyes don't go off.
I think they go off. I think
Well,
it
then
comes
what-
from inside him.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
then
all-
how come his laser eyes aren't beaming through his eyelids? They cut through other people.
Shit, that's a good point, actually. I don't know. Comic book magic.
Comic book
Just like the inside of his eyelids are coated in
Yeah,
a special
yeah.
Because the thing
Yeah.
is if that's how it probably should work. He can't even blink because he'll just decimate his eyelids.
I'd be like, but they're so dry. He's trying to put Visine in it, but it keeps evaporating. He's like, this is hell.
But then you also have... Oh, man, you just fucked Cyclops up for me. Because then you have to think about it. How do his eyes work? Are they basically energy generators? If so, why is it dictating that they only shoot out of the front of them? Wouldn't they just basically being like explosions
Maybe
of
it's
energy?
coming out of the
Right,
iris
so like
specifically.
if he like turns his eye to the side, he's like burning off the bridge of his nose.
But it's not, I don't even mean that. I mean, it's not just necessarily coming out of the irises, it's coming out of the eyeball in any and all direction, which would basically mean...
Goodbye, brain.
Yeah,
Which, how does he not just see red light 100% of the time? Is he blind?
yeah. I mean, that would be kind of funny in the sense that, you know, the mutant gene kicks in and his head just explodes. Like scanners.
Listen, I think that we're reading too much into this explanation.
Yeah, we went on like a major tangent.
Yeah.
Whereas it was just some guy who was like, it would be... I just wanted to make a cool laser beam, my guys. Can you not
Get
pick
off
this
my...
apart?
Stanley is just going, get off my back.
I had a week to come up with a new character. Fuck you. But yeah, so I think in that sense, it's the safer choice is to pick the responsibility one, because no matter what, you have a built-in... Because you said the villain is always matched to your abilities. It's going to be tough. It's always even, and it's always rising to your level. But it will be in your ballpark.
Right.
I guess. I mean, they're still trying to kill you.
I just mean, like, you're not going to end up with a superpower that's useless against the villain you're fighting.
Oh, I never said that.
You said they were matched to your level.
No, I said that crime would escalate in the think of it like the Batman thing in The Dark Knight when the Joker goes, you know, you made everything crazier.
Right.
Like the idea of a guy running around in a bat costume means you're not going to have a guy in a balaclava sticking up a store just that. You're going to have guys going, well, I'm going to match that crazy. I don't mean
escalate.
power level. If somebody finds a way to, you know, if somebody goes, well, I found a way to give myself a superpower that lets me kill this dude in one punch, then they're going to do that and try to kill you with said magic punch or something.
Okay.
Oh.
But are there other superheroes in the universe too, like Avengers or whatever, so that they can come and back you up?
No.
If no,
You're not
it's
gonna
just you on
succeed.
your
Just
own.
you.
Fuck
Well, because you could end up with a dumb superpower.
Okay, well,
yeah, your superpower
well, hold
could be
on.
shitty eye lasers
Well,
that
hold
burn
on.
your brain.
I will say for the if you are being burdened with this responsibility, then the power that you get, I would say, is significant and rad.
Right.
Whereas with the other one, you have less of a choice.
And it could
it
be
has a
shitty,
side effect.
Yeah, it could
And
be
life as a fighter, essentially, could be pretty fun. You'd basically be a warrior. Like in fantasy.
And you'd have all the
like,
glory, and
so much
although
glory.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell people who you really are.
I mean, that would be your choice. You would have to deal with the ramifications of being, you know, I'm Caitlin Major and I can fucking fly and kill dudes.
Yeah, and then somebody's gonna be like, "I'm gonna kill your mom." I'm like, "Oh well."
Now she'll get off my back.
Oh no, I'm being so mean to my mom today. I'm sorry.
It's because she called you fat knees and you
She
never
called
forgot
me
it.
fat like 20 years ago.
And it was actually just she was having a bad day because she felt unattractive and she took it out on you and she never meant it. But you'll never let her forget it. Nah, I think I'm still gonna take the Game Blonde number 2 because I think that just sounds fun. I want the freedom to be able to like play around with my powers without having to always be like using it for. I feel like that would just be. It takes up your whole life. Like fighting crime and protecting your family is now.
Yeah, again, you wouldn't be able to like pay your rent because you spend
Oh, I
all
don't
your
give a
day.
shit.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
it
Stopping
could
people
lead
from-
there.
I care less about that aspect. Like, if my whole life gets totaled, that's fine. It's more just like you're locked in to a lifestyle, a very narrow lifestyle that leaves no room for experiment. Like, you're never gonna like learn other skills or anything. Your whole life is gonna be dedicated to fighting these villains, essentially.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm assuming that the reason that you make a resolution to fight villains is because something tragic happened, like your girlfriend got murdered or whatever.
Did you just sneak the word resolution in there to make this on theme?
There you go. I gotcha.
That's not how this works.
Yeah, because that's always the thing with superheroes, right? They're like, I'm gonna fight crime because my family got murdered.
I don't
I
necessarily.
think it's about half and half.
I think it depends.
It's a common one. For
Yeah,
sure.
because otherwise, why would you even bother? Like, there are people whose literal jobs it is to fight crime.
Yeah, but does every cop have a tragic backstory?
No, but they get paid for it at least. Like, I'm not getting paid as Super Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, but fair
Well,
enough.
usually it is like my towns. So it's not necessarily something bad happened, but it could just be I don't want something bad to happen.
Right.
Is a common
I'm-
word.
I don't know. I don't think people join the military or whatever necessarily because they're like, I'm gonna get that army money. And there's a sense of duty and responsibility that they feel towards whatever.
I would say it's probably 50-50.
Yeah, like how many people would join the army if it was unpaid?
Exactly.
Probably some.
Probably, but definitely not as many as there are. Like, you join the army because you get a sweet scholarship and you get paid.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has nothing to do with.
But that is also usually what defines heroes in stories, is that they are that kind of person that
Right.
would.
Yeah.
And that's why they were
And-
chosen by destiny to have the
Yeah.
power.
That's kind of what I liked about Into the Spider-Verse is because Miles did this because he believed in it and because he's a good kid.
And his uncle got...
He's fine. His uncle
He's
is fine.
fine. His uncle is
And
fine.
his
Nothing
uncle's
bad
totally
happened.
No, but that's not. That was a product of him making this choice, and that was a product of his uncle making poor choices.
I still think they were external forces.
He was interested in being
I
Spider-Man.
don't want
but
to talk about this movie because I'm going to spoil it for everyone.
Miles had pure fucking motivation.
Yeah. But
That.
that's assuming that I also have that motivation, which I clearly do not.
Well, you won't have a choice if you.
Oh, no. I'm going with the other one. Fuck, I'm
You'll
getting
roll
cancer.
the dice.
I'm going to roll the dice and get cancer.
Also, I feel like
Just like
you get
real
more of
life.
the funny... You get more of the weird powers with the other one.
Yeah.
Because most superhero powers in, like, comics and stuff have combat in mind. They're kind of geared in that, like, this would be a cool power to have in a fight.
Mm.
Whereas the other one is like, you might just get some, like, weird other handy power.
You can just make a really
Like
bad
a-
smell.
You just stink power. You're just a skunk person. So,
Yeah.
like, whenever someone approaches you on the street and goes like, hey, give me your money, you can just, like, fart at them and they die.
I would probably take the fucking responsibility. 'Cause
Yeah,
if
you would.
if I had powers, I would feel compelled.
Nerd.
You nerd.
Also, you can take the second one and still fight crime.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
I probably still would. Like, if I saw an armed bank robbery going on and I had fire powers, I'd be like, guess who's on fire now? It's you, hot pants.
I don't want to be a vigilante because I don't feel like I have, like, a moral high ground on anyone else. Like, if you're robbing a bank, you're probably in a really bad spot.
I'd still burn the
Not
bank.
necessarily.
Who am I?
Like, 90% of, like, the petty crimes that Batman is beating people up over is, like, they were probably mentally ill. They had schizophrenia. They were really poor. They were just
The
trying
Joker
to
actually
get
has their
by.
family locked up in a basement somewhere, and he's...
Yeah,
I mean-
like, I don't have the moral high ground on any of these people. So
But that's
I don't
not the
wanna,
point.
I don't want to be the one, like, dispensing
No.
justice.
You have the powers. That means you are the moral high ground. That's how power works.
Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to come around.
I
on
mean,
this.
you're.
You shape the world how you want it, Caitlin. You don't let any bank robbers tell you what's what.
You fucking turned this into a villain story.
Oh, I'm becoming a villain. No, I wouldn't become a villain. I'm definitely like that on the fence. I'm Catwoman.
You're chaotic neutral, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna fight crime, but it's only gonna be crime that I think is crime.
Yeah.
It's gonna be white collar crime. I'm just gonna start beating up hedge fund managers.
I mean, listen, I'm totally.
I didn't murder Jeff Bezos. Sorry.
I listen. I can get behind that.
Oh my god, we're just gonna eat the rich now.
Literally.
Literally.
Because it turns out the superpower you got was Big Mouth.
How was cannibalism?
Hooray! Yeah, you just gain the ability to digest and actually eat human without getting sick.
There is an actual. I don't remember who it is, what the character's name is, or where it's from, but there is a superhero whose power is ability. They can eat and digest anything.
There you go.
There you go.
Now you're eating the
Oh,
rich.
okay, yeah. I
And
want
their
that
money,
now.
too.
Oh, we're gonna eat all the money and we're gonna go to, like, a post-capitalism society. It's gonna be good for everyone. Listen.
Listen to Caitlin, the cannibal!
Listen to Caitlin the cannibal.
Caitlin
You don't have a choice.
Caitlin the cannibal. I mean, listen. At the end of the day,
Can we call it the cannibal campaign?
You know what? I have nothing else to add to this. I'm totally on board with all of this. I'm into it.
With great power comes what?
Great appetite.
Great appetite. That's true. Hey, if anime has taught me anything, is that the more powerful you are, the more hungry you get.
Goku.
Especially if you're a good guy. If you're a villain, not so much. But if you're a good guy and
Yeah.
you're really strong, you can be hungry.
Yeah. Okay, I just solved all of the world's problems. Let's take it to the chat. I saw some good ones earlier. Okay. Please talk amongst yourselves. No, actually don't. Here we go.
A+ hosting.
New year, new Caitlin!
New year, new Caitlin. Totally unprepared. Okay. Would you rather be forced... Oh, sorry. This is by HoboBob1022.
Hi, Hobo Bob.
Would you rather be forced to do someone else's New Year's resolution or have to spend the year living in a foreign country where you don't know the language?
Nobody's New Year's resolution is typically... Like, do I get to pick? Because then I could just find one that's
random.
Oh, okay.
So you get to do my New Year's resolution.
Work
Which is
less.
Work less and lose weight.
Sweet.
Yeah, but all I have to do is, like, work one less hour than I did last year and lose 1 pound, and I'm good.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one.
Also, I could... How does that even work? Like, if your New Year's resolution is to lose weight, like, could I lose it one day and then gain it back for the rest of the year?
I mean, that's my plan.
So then it's not even... That's easy!
But I guess that depends on the actual resolution, because some people are really specific and some people aren't.
Yeah.
Right.
An example being, my New Year's resolution, quote unquote, is to pursue joy more. So that's pretty open-ended.
Right. You got one of those wishy-washy resolutions.
Yeah.
Which means nobody can say I didn't do it.
I pursued happiness by doing more manual labor because I thought it would work.
I pursued happiness by getting blackout drunk more.
I pursued happiness by trying heroin for the first time, and that was great.
You can't be sad if you're in oblivion.
Oh, fuck.
You can't be sad if you're dead. I just pictured a movie poster where it's like the pursuit of happiness, but it's just a guy on a bridge.
You can't be sad if you're dead. Oh, good lord.
We're good people.
We're people.
Solving all of the world's problems one would you rather at a time.
Did it, guy?
Yeah, I would go with the New Year's resolution. I feel like that's...
I
It's
live
just
in a
so
foreign
easy.
country.
It's just so easy.
Well, not only that, but here's the also difference. I don't like to travel.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big like, I like going places, but the art, like the act of traveling is not something I pursue as hard as a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
I feel like the New Year's resolution is less of a threat. It's a threat. It's just less of a threat.
It can't, like, I don't know anyone who's got a New Year's resolution that's that extreme.
Yeah.
It's all just like, go to the gym more, eat less of this, work less, work more.
Yeah.
It's always like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas the thing I have a problem with the travel one is if, one, you're locked into a country. The foreign language thing is definitely not helpful, but mostly it's like, have fun being cut off from all your friends and family and your job, and you're probably going to be fired next year. Like, it just disrupts so much of your life.
Yeah, because here's the other thing, too. Even if you get a place that you want to go, where it's like, Adam, go live in Scotland.
They don't speak. They speak English.
Do they?
That doesn't
Do they know? I've been to Scotland. I guess you could call it English.
I have a hard time deciphering some of the accents. And
No, that's not true. I actually love the Scottish accent. I love
So do
when
I.
they get all...
In my defense, I forgot about the language thing. Okay, so Japan. Japan seems like a cool country with a lot of culture and you could experience a lot of wonderful things by living there in a year. But what about my wife? What about my family? What about my friends? What about my job? What about this? What about
what
that?
do you do for work? Do you you don't automatically
Be an
get a
English
job
teacher.
there?
Yeah, like I'm gonna get fired.
Problem
So
I'm gonna be dead in a month because I'm not gonna be able to figure out how to like.
You're just gonna curl up in a gutter. I don't know anyone here.
Help me.
Listen, I've done it before. I can do it again.
Well, I mean, it depends where you end up. Like, you could end up in a very hostile I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You
Yeah,
can end up somewhere where they're not letting you work for nothing.
Yeah, but listen, I'll just eat them.
Fair enough. But no, for places like even Japan, not being able to speak the language, you'd be surprised how far you can get with just like
Google Translate?
not even Google Translate, just like gesturing, just being like, put your hands up and point like question mark this way, or
Yeah.
you just hold out money and an object that you want, and they either take it or they don't.
Yeah. And like you said, you have to deal with the actual issue of what if you end up in a bad place. And listen, I'm a dumb
Antarctica's a country.
Yeah, and listen, I'm a dumb white guy and I don't know my geography, but what if you end up in the bad Korea? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
North.
remember. It's north?
North.
Okay.
In the bad Korea.
The scary one, you know what I mean? I don't want to say...
I think it's safe. I think it's
I
at
don't
this
know.
point still politically correct to call it bad Korea.
Well, okay, let me change my wording. The scary one.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like bad Korea.
Bad
I like bad Korea.
Bad is a little too judgy. I'm sorry. I do mean the scary one.
Well, they're not bad Koreans, but it's
No.
bad Korea.
I know that doing somebody else's New Year's resolution would be the easy choice, but
You also like to travel.
I like to travel. I like a challenge.
You like to travel once and then stay there for a year.
Yeah. See bitches.
Yeah, then we
Yeah.
take her job.
Yeah, we're taking your job.
You can have it.
She says, well, literally at her job, using her job's equipment to do a podcast that she wanted.
Okay, we got time for a few more, so let's keep
Yeah.
the ball rolling. Okay, Dahlia, I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce that because I'm gonna get it wrong. Would you rather be in a relationship with a person that loves you
Yes.
unconditionally,
Uh-oh.
or meet your absolute soulmate, but he or she doesn't love you back?
Who would want that? That would be torture.
Well, also, how would they be your soulmate if they don't love you?
Well,
If
I guess it's
they're-
more like your ideal person.
Yeah.
So, although my ideal person would love me.
Yeah. Ideally, yeah.
That is, so I guess it's like ideal except for that. So
Yeah.
it's like everything else. But that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't want to waste my time with somebody who doesn't have time for me, even if they are my soulmate.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I like about being in a long-term relationship is the, like, dependability. Being like, oh, this is someone who's got your back and they're on your team and you two together are gonna make each other's lives That sounds so fucking mushy. I know this is supposed to be a comedy podcast.
But I also agree with
No,
you.
It's
Yeah.
comedy with heart.
Comedy with someone's heart.
And I mean, because that's the thing. Like, obviously, you would rather be with somebody who loves you, because the other option is just, hey, I like you. I'm not interested. All right, later. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point even?
Yeah.
Except for that you would now know what your ideal human being looks like, and then you go, huh, cool.
Yeah, it's also one of those things. I think that your perspective on that might change depending on your age, because by the time you're an adult, you've dealt with enough rejection in all facets of life that being rejected by somebody you're into is not that crushing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, sorry.
It's like, I guess not then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole idea of having like a soulmate is problematic anyway, because I hate the idea that I would be considered incomplete without another person
Yeah.
to complete me or whatever. Like
Right.
like people who have this idea of relationships as being like I'm only complete if I'm with another person. It's like, you need to get your shit together. You need to work something out, because
Well-
it's not another person's responsibility to make you better.
Yeah.
Unless you got the superpower, you become a jigsaw person, and you're literally not a complete person unless you get that other one to, like...
Ooh. Yeah, that's a rough superpower. That's rough.
So much so, I wouldn't call it power.
Yeah.
Well, hey, being able to split into two people could be handy. You can fake your own death.
I guess so.
Don't
That's like
underestimate
that's
the
like
power
the
of
one-
being able to fake your own death.
That's
That
like
is-
the one thing you could do, though.
Hey, that's a big one. The government thinks you're dead. You are a free woman.
You can eat anyone.
You can eat anybody. They'll never find you. But I do have a bit, but on that kind of like same point, having someone who loves you unconditionally is like...
That's also a power.
It's a little
like,
weird.
You could do anything.
It's like you could chop off their feet and they're like, it's okay, I still love you. It's like, you shouldn't! You really shouldn't! I don't respect someone who loves me even when I cut their feet off. Unless I had to cut your feet off to save your life. That's an exception.
Yeah, unconditional. That's the other issue. Is unconditional love sounds like a recipe for abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is you know, and I say this as a guy who's married. The cool thing is that you have somebody to call you on your bullshit in a loving way.
Yeah.
Where it's like
they have standards that you have to meet.
Yeah.
And
so that's the thing, right? Ideally, a healthy relationship will make you a better person, not because it's the partner's job to make you a better person, but being in a healthy relationship just makes you better usually.
Yeah.
So neither. Sorry, Dahlia.
Well, like, wait. I guess you could just, oh man. And then if you didn't want to be with that person, they would still love you. That's a nightmare. That's a stalker.
but I feel like unconditional love is the kind of thing where it's like, if you love them, let them go. That's
not how you define unconditional. Even if they don't murder you, I don't want someone to love me for my whole life and unconditionally love me and I don't love them back. That's just a weird feeling to have. Because even if they don't do anything, it's like they're thinking
about me.
They're
thinking about me.
Don't think about me. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't trust anybody who loves me.
I have to go.
No, wait. There's one more. It's a good one. Okay, this one's from Brett. He was in the chat. He's probably been listening this whole time.
I can see him.
Please. He's watching us right now. Okay. Would you rather have it that the whole world has to walk around bottomless like Donald Duck, or that the whole world has to walk around topless?
Topless is easy.
Yeah, topless is, yeah.
You've been to
Bottomless is funnier.
Bottomless is funnier, but I don't want to have to walk around bottomless.
Yeah. I also don't want to live in a world where people are putting their raw butts on my seats.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to sit on a seat that's some random guy's balls of touch.
Yeah! Like, gross.
Yeah, because it's your bare butt too.
Yeah,
then.
that's right.
That's just unhygienic.
No, but see, that's the thing. Then you develop accessories where everybody carries down a little, like, foldable towel that they place on things.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And what if you forget yours?
Yeah. I would definitely go topless if I could.
I feel like that wouldn't even be much of a shift.
No.
No.
There are countries that people just are topless all the time.
Yeah, and like half of the population, it's totally fine to go topless all the time.
Well, even here, like it's like you go to certain
here.
beaches and you'll see topless everything.
Yeah.
I have to go with the bottomless because it's fucking hilarious.
You just want to see a world where people are wearing suits but no pants.
Yeah. Also, I think, you know, if you want to get real, it would probably destroy the stigma on genitals because everybody makes a big deal about them.
That's true.
Or it would just become one more thing that people could discriminate you visually for.
That's well, yeah.
Yeah.
I still have to go with it for the comedy value. I feel like that would just be funny as shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I if it was like if there was a little asterisk on that question that was just like for a day, I would pick the bottomless one.
Yeah, if it was
So
just
it'd be
for a
funny
day.
to see, but after a year, you're getting over that real fast.
Oh my god, okay, I have a quick story that's related to this. Once, I was on vacation with Matt's family, and me and his brother went for a walk. So we were at the beach, and there was like this headland, and I was like, hey, let's go for a walk on the headland, and like, you know, maybe we'll see a nice view. So we walk up and like over the headland. Unbeknownst to us, on the other side of that headland was a nude beach. So like we like climb down onto the other side of the headland, and the first thing we're greeted with is like an elderly gentleman wearing shoes, a t-shirt, sunglasses, a hat, and completely nude from the waist down.
Oh my god, yes!
And I wasn't with Matt. I was with Matt's brother, and I was like, oh my god, where are we? What's happening?
It's just a sign that's no pants allowed.
Yeah, and then we went onto the beach, and it was all just like old people, because like nude beaches are like reserved for old people. So it was a bunch of like old dick on the ocean.
Yeah, that's the thing with nude beaches is the sexy.
It's not as sexy as you would think, and it was extremely awkward. And then I was
I
like,
don't think it's supposed to be sexy.
No, but I mean, when people talk about a nude beach, they kind of go like, "Ooh, go to a nude beach." It's like you might as well be saying, "Ooh, let's go to the old
Yeah.
folks' home."
yeah. It was like a bunch of old people and like two like attractive European girls.
Yeah.
That was it. And so then when we were like quickly bailed on this nude beach situation, and as we were walking back over the headland, this family was like coming along like passing us on the trail, and they had like small children with them, and we like walked past them, and I was like, do you think we should say something? Nah, they'll
Please
figure
tell
it
me
out.
you just heard in the background.
They'll figure it out on their own.
That's the thing is, it would be the mom going, cover their eyes, and the kids would just be like, kids don't know.
Yeah, kids don't care. Well, I mean, they weren't that young. It was like, I think one of the girls was at least like 12. So old enough that she would be traumatized by a random man's penis.
Yeah. Aww. You should have warned them.
As most of us would be.
See, even more proof that you wouldn't be a fucking superhero. You were given this responsibility to protect this family, and you fucking didn't take it. With great power comes great responsibility,
You
Caitlin.
had power,
Listen,
Caitlin.
I don't know. They might have just been taking their kids on a trip to the nude beach. I don't know.
Hey, maybe they go every weekend,
Yeah.
and they would have been really.
They're
They
just
would have been
like
like,
Yeah,
nice.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that,
my grandpa.
That's true. It could have been, that's a nude beach. You might want to be careful. And they'd be like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. And then
You
I would
might
have
wanna
been the
be
jerk.
careful.
I would have been the judgmental jerk.
Yeah. And then you would have given
As
them
a-
shame.
as
You
a-
would have made them feel shame
Yeah.
inside, and they would have been like, my knees are fine!
As opposed to now when you're shaming these people on the internet.
Yeah, but they'll never hear this.
Hope you're not listening to this podcast, Mom. Should be your slogan.
Thank God my mom doesn't know how to use the internet. Oh, the things that she would be disappointed in me.
What if her New Year's resolution is to learn the internet?
That'll never happen.
And why would she start with this?
She's like, what's Caitlin up to?
Yeah, what if she Googles her daughter?
Just Google's Kayla Major, and it's just like, I hope my mom gets eaten by cannibals.
That wasn't even the worst thing.
It's true.
Alright, anyway, that's enough. That's enough now. So thank you everyone for joining us on this stream. We very much appreciate your Would You Rathers. And we'll have regular episodes of Shitty Wizard starting up again in a few weeks.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They're not already started?
No, I've got some filler in there now. So
Ooh,
get
filler.
pumped for filler.
Is it buttercream or is it royal icing? Who knows?
It's the best one. Yeah, signing off. Peace out.
Bye! Now the awkward moment where she has to go turn the stream off in between us.
Please
saying-
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, just talk amongst yourself.
Is anyone still here?
Eh.
If you are, you're special and you won the secret prize. Please tell me there's like 50 of us.